guys, I'm going to be reading you a book that I think is really adorable and fun called Tiny T-Rex and the Impossible Hug. And while I'm reading, I want you to think about, because he's going to be going around asking people for help, and I want you to think about how the other people are reacting, what type of advice they're giving, and why you think they're giving that advice. Tiny T-Rex and the Impossible Hug by Jonathan Stutzman, illustrated by Jay Fleck. Hello, Pointy. Are you okay? Oh, today I feel sad. I don't want to play. I wonder what he's sad about. But he is making a list. It says how to make a friend feel better. Cake, smiles, hugs, tacos, jokes. And he is gonna choose hugs. I have tiny arms. It is very difficult to hug with tiny arms. Each day I am growing taller, but my arms are still tiny. 22 and 37. Counting by 15s? I wonder what units they're using. Hugging almost seems impossible for a Rex as tiny as me, but I will try anyway. Pointy needs me. Got his hands on his hips. He is determined. He is proud. Where is my father? I will ask him for advice. Hello, Father. Rexes are thinkers, not huggers. Perhaps, instead of hugs, mathematics might be the answer to your problem. Happiness equals 8x plus 3y plus 2z. Pointy does not like math. Math will only make Pointy feel worse. Hello, Auntie Junip. I have a problem. I must learn how to hug, but my arms are too tiny. I have found that balance is key to every problem. Balance and freshly squeezed cucumber juice. Blah, that's disgusting. I will ask my mother for help instead. So why do you think Auntie Junip is giving this advice? Why do you think the dad said to use mathematics? I have fallen, and now I'm lost. I don't think I will find my mother in here. Hello, Mother. Guess you did find her in there. Or out there. It's okay if you can't hug, Tiny. You are good at many other things. You are kind and creative and braver than most. You are tiny, but your heart is big. I cannot hug with my heart, Mother. I must learn to hug with my arms. Hello, sister. Hello, brother. Please help me. Hugging is very difficult. We'd love to help, Tiny. To do the impossible, you must plan and practice. Practice, practice, practice. Whiff, boink, plonk. Thank you, Trixie and Rory. That is good advice. Wham! I will plan my strategy. Shooting out of a cannon, jumping off a ladder, using a unicycle, using a friend like a crane, parachute, digging a tunnel. These are some interesting plans. I will get stronger. I will practice very hard. I will practice my hugs on everything. Do you think that's going to help him hug? He even hugged some ice cream cone. He showed that ice cream. Uh-oh. I will not practice on that anymore. Good thinking, Tiny. I am almost ready. I will practice one more time. When I am done, I will find my friend. This tree is very big, like Pointy. I will hug it. This is not a tree. I have made a mistake. Please help. From here, everything looks tiny, like me. I could hug anything I wanted. Now I am falling. I should not have let go. Now I will never find Pointy. Hello, Pointy. Hello, Tiny. Well, that was lucky. I am here to make you feel better. I have practiced very hard and hugged many things. My arms are still tiny, and my hugs are still tiny, but I will do my very best because you are my very best friend. Thank you, Tiny. That was the biggest hug ever. And this book is dedicated to Fox, the author's favorite person to hug, and to anyone who needs a hug from the illustrator. Alright, now that the story's over, we're going to go back and see if we can answer the question that I asked you at the beginning of why the people who Tiny asked for advice gave him the advice that they did. So the first person he went to was his dad. And his dad said that Rexes are thinkers, not huggers. And that maybe math is the answer to his problem. And then Tiny says, Pointer doesn't like math. Kind of seems like the dad wasn't really thinking about who he was trying to help. He was just thinking, well, I like math and math solves my problems. And then the next person was his Auntie Junip. And she's doing yoga? Dinosaur yoga. And she's saying that balance is the key to every problem, and also freshly squeezed cucumber juice. Well, that doesn't really help Tiny, because I don't know how balance would apply to the hugging scenario, and certainly cucumber juice is not going to help. So why do you think she made those suggestions? Oh, you know something I just noticed? Her eyes are closed, and his dad's eyes are closed too. Kind of seems like they're not paying attention. So they're not really thinking about what Tiny's asking for help with. So then he goes to see his mom. I love this page. And she doesn't really give him advice. She just says some nice things. She says, oh, you're kind and creative and brave and your heart is really big. And that's nice. That's nice to hear. Doesn't really help him with his problem, though. And then finally he goes and sees his brother and sister. And they are playing a game. They're playing ping pong. And they say they love to help. And they say to practice and practice and practice. And while they're saying that, they are still practicing, practicing, practicing. They're practicing ping pong and they're telling Tiny to practice so that he can solve his problem. It doesn't seem like they really know what his problem is. They just kind of give the advice of practicing. And luckily, in this case, it helps. It seems like maybe they're just saying it because that's what they're doing, though. Kind of like the other people. But anyway, he does it. he practices, well, he makes a plan first. He doesn't really do any of these plans. Though, it's kind of like this one, the parachute. Except instead of a parachute, he's got a bird. In his practice, he gets stronger. It doesn't really, I don't know if these are hugging muscles. Maybe the boxing will help him get stronger arms. But what I think is the most important part is he's practicing hugging big things like this ball. And the ice cream cone kind of beat him, but you know, it's okay. And cactus. My sister hugged a cactus when she was little because she thought it looked really soft. And I think she might have ended up kind of like that. And then by the end of the story, well, first he has to hug this, but by the end of the story, his brother and sister's advice actually helped because he practiced. And then he could hug his friend's forehead, just where everyone wants to be hugged, right? So all that stuff I was saying as I was flipping back through the book, looking through the pictures, that was my interpretation. And that means that when I was reading the book, I was thinking about it, and the stuff I told you, that's what I came up with. And here's the most important thing I'm going to tell you. I am not right. I'm not wrong, but I'm not right either. And the reason is because my interpretation is my opinion. So if I were writing an opinion piece about this book, I might say, I think that his dad told him to do math because the dad was already doing math, and I can use the picture on the page with his eyes closed as support for my opinion. And you might have a different opinion. You might look at the same picture and think a different thing. That's the really great thing about reading. We don't all have to read the story the same way. We don't all have to understand it the same way. We can come back from a story and think different things and have learned different things. And I think that's the most fun part about reading. So I hope you enjoyed the book. I hope you're thinking about it. Maybe you want to go watch the video again. You can watch it with the sound on or with the sound off so you can concentrate on the pictures. See what you notice and form your own opinion. Enjoy the rest of your day.